Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Martina Navratilova's secret tip helps Russian Prodigy pass test Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula missed. The American dream at Wimbledon, especially on the WTA side, is flickering dim this year. Top seeds like Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula have already crashed out in shocking first-round exits, leaving hopes now resting squarely on Madison Keys, the reigning Aussie Open queen. But what's really going wrong? Maybe the secret slipped past them. Just ask Mira Andreeva. After her opening match, the rising Russian star received a golden piece of advice from none other than Martina Navratilova. She took it to heart, and yesterday stormed into the third round in straight sets. Want to know that untold story? It's one worth chasing. Just a couple of hours ago, Tennis Channel dropped a carousel of video clips that had fans buzzing, captioning, "Don't forget that dinner at Mira Andreeva face with tears of joy," tagging the rising Russian star. The clips captured golden moments, some from Mira Andreeva's first-round clash against Egypt's Maya Sharif, and one from yesterday's win over Italy's Lucia Bronzetti, both filmed in the same spot where she cheekily acknowledged the dinner and bracelet deal. While Martina Navratilova joined the studio, the presenter recalled how her first-round advice of staying low on the grass and shortening her swings helped Mira charge the net 14 times in her opener and 9 more in round 2. Martina beamed with pride and said, "She won in straight sets, and yeah, you passed the test, well done." And just as she wrapped up, the legend added with a grin, "You promised a nice meal." When asked about it, Mira didn't flinch. "Well, the bracelets are slightly easier," she quipped. Without skipping a beat, she took off one of her bracelets, wore it on Martina's wrist, and said with charm, "See, I keep my promises. I don't remember, though, that I promised you the dinner, but we will figure it out. It's okay." Pure heart, pure fire. Martina Navratilova's secret tip helps Russian Prodigy pass test Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula missed. In the quiet corridors of the All England Club, during a rain delay at Wimbledon 2025, something extraordinary was happening. Not on the courts, but behind them. 14-year-old Russian prodigy Elena Mirova sat nervously in the players' lounge, clutching her phone, not because of an incoming text, but because she was rewatching a grainy, 10-minute video clip that had changed everything for her. The woman in the video, calm, precise, timeless, was Martina Navratilova. And the tip she gave? Not about tennis. Not directly. The mental test that broke stars. Weeks before Wimbledon, the WTA had quietly introduced a new mental focus assessment during player development programs. Dubbed the Clarity Test, it was designed not to evaluate serve speed, stamina, or footwork, but a player's cognitive resilience under pressure. It combined visualization, pattern recognition, short-term memory, and a unique component of tennis IQ, a measure of how quickly a player could adapt strategy based on hypothetical and match changes. The test was not publicized, but insiders said it was brutal. Coco Gauff, now a seasoned champion at 21, and Jessica Pegula, ever consistent and intelligent on court, were among the first elite players to try it, and neither passed the final tier. "It's like your brain's in a hurricane," Gauff later said. "They throw tennis scenarios at you that shift every few seconds. You blink, and you're behind." The WTA didn't mandate passing it, but said that those who did would be considered for an elite mind and match initiative, personalized match simulation tools, elite strategy coaching, and experimental AI-driven analytics, tools only accessible to the mental top 1%. Only one junior had passed it, Elena Mirova, a whisper from the past. 2 months earlier, Elena had been struggling, not with her game, but with doubt. The Russian press loved calling her the next Sharapova, which was flattering until it wasn't. Every match she didn't dominate felt like betrayal. Every loss was dissected. She knew how to hit a forehand. What she didn't know was how to silence the storm in her mind. That's when her coach, Nikolai, made a call. Not to a sports psychologist. To a legend, Martina Navratilova. The reply came 2 days later, a Zoom invite, 15 minutes long. No promises, no press, just advice. Martina's secret tip. Martina appeared on screen in a hoodie, no makeup, hair swept back, as candid and commanding as ever. "Elena," she said. Her Czech-Russian accent softened over time. "Tennis is 70% mental, but most people think that means pressure, nerves, emotion." She leaned in. "That's not the secret. The secret is this. Your brain gets tired before your legs do, and most players don't train it to last." Elena frowned. "Like meditation?" "Worse," Martina grinned. "Simulation. I used to take a single match in my head and play it forward, backward, change one shot, and rerun it. I could play 5 matches lying in bed. I trained my brain like a muscle. You want clarity under pressure. You practice pressure when you're calm." Elena had blinked. "But how do you stay focused?" Martina's eyes twinkled. "That's the trick. Find your anchor." The anchor. Martina told her about a technique she'd never shared publicly. She called it the anchor method. It involved tying a simple, physical action to mental clarity. For Martina, it had been adjusting her strings with her index finger after every point. It grounded her, gave her brain a pattern to return to, a place of control amidst chaos. She asked Elena to choose her own. "Make it simple. Make it yours. And never let a match steal it from you." Elena chose a tiny circle she traced on her thigh with her right thumb, barely visible, just enough to feel. Her anchor. Passing the clarity test. At the clarity test in Rome, held in a quiet backroom of a training facility, Elena walked in nervous, but ready. The test began. She watched a simulated match between 2 AI players, and was asked to predict patterns in real time. Then, mid-simulation, the playstyle of one AI shifted from baseline grinder to serve and volley. She had 5 seconds to recommend a strategy switch. Next, a jumbled sequence of shot calls. She had to recall the last 6 in order, while being asked a question about match stats. Even the technician administering the test was impressed. "You're not blinking," he whispered. Elena was focused, tracing that invisible circle on her thigh between segments. Her mind didn't sprint. It glided. When she finished, the panel didn't speak for 20 seconds. Then came the verdict. Perfect clarity under load. She'd passed Tier 4, the highest level. No other player had. Aftershock on tour. Word leaked. Quietly at first. But as Wimbledon approached, whispers spread. Elena Marova, the only junior in the WTA elite program. Gauff didn't pass. Pegula didn't. How did a kid beat the system? Elena said nothing. When asked in a post-match interview, she just smiled and said, "It's not about being smarter. It's about being still." Coco and Jessica respond. To their credit, both Gauff and Pegula were publicly gracious. "She's got something special," Pegula told the press. "And if she's working with Martina, that's a cheat code." Coco was more introspective. "I think we've focused a lot on physical endurance and tactical adjustments, but not on brain stamina. That's changing." They both requested to retake the clarity test later that season. The legend silence. Martina refused to comment on her involvement. When asked if she'd mentored the Russian phenom, she just smiled cryptically. "I talk to a lot of young players," she said, "but the ones who listen with their whole mind, they're rare." She paused, then added, "Clarity isn't about having the answers. It's about being unafraid of the unknown." Final rally. As Elena stepped onto Court 2 at Wimbledon for her debut main draw appearance, the commentators noted her calm, almost eerie composure. "She moves like she's done this 100 times, one said. "She hasn't," the other replied. "But maybe she has. In her mind." Somewhere in the stands, an older woman in a white sun hat, Martina herself, watched silently, a flicker of pride in her eyes. And down on the court, after her first rally, Elena Marova made a tiny motion with her thumb, just a small circle on her right thigh. Her anchor. And the storm passed her by.